Hey, what's going on? I wonder if you know what it means to put a ring on a particular finger. We all know in the Western society, we put a ring on our wedding finger, which is our left hand. It was once believed that there was a vein called the vein of love that went from our left finger near our pinky all the way to our heart. But later research and science prove that that was not so. But the tradition still stands. People still put a ring on the left hand, and that symbolizes love. Now, do you know what it means for men to put rings on particular fingers? We know back in the day, we looked at The Godfather, Al Pacino. They wore the pinky ring, which most gangsters wore. We also realized in Great Britain, you know, royalty also wore pinky rings, signet rings. Types of rings also meant something. Now, the most important thing is if you buy a ring, what finger can you put it on? Well, it all depends on what you like, but there are particular meanings that we can go over. So I found a video by a company called Manly Bands. If you may have heard of it, it's a company that focused on making rings for men, and they look pretty good. They came in different types, different material, and I did remember seeing some advertisements some time ago, and I just stumbled across a video that that channel chose to dive into this topic. So I thought it would be cool just to go over what they stated about what finger that men can put rings on. I did do a video some time ago, and I put that in the description below. You can check that out. And it's about maybe a year ago, and it did pretty good. It got about 4,000 views, and I wanted to revisit it because I love watching this video that I'm about to show that describes some of these things. So let's go check that out. This is from Manly Bands, and it says what rings mean on each finger. So let's go ahead and examine exactly what he states.
Modern symbolism. There are typically four meanings for a ring on this finger. The most common is your marital status. In Western countries, a married person wears a ring on this finger. Again, the reasons for this are covered in our History of Rings video we did earlier, so check that out. Another common reason is that you are engaged to be married. This tradition goes all the way back to the ancient Romans. At the time of the wedding, the bride would choose to continue wearing her engagement ring on the left ring finger with her wedding ring or switch it to another finger. Although wedding bells are typically the reason you want to wear a ring on this finger, some couples have chosen to wear rings on this finger as a promise ring or even as a chastity ring, signifying abstinence from playing any Marvin Gaye music before marriage.
That was pretty funny. Well, you saw there was many reasons to put a ring on your left finger right here next to your pinky. So you realize that what I mentioned before, yes, through marriage, engagement, and a promise ring. And so these are reasons why people will put a ring on that finger. So let's examine some more.
Because that's baby making music, maybe. Also, let's be real, like Marvin Gaye, prolific and amazing artist, like Heard It Through the Grapevine is a jam. When it comes to flipping the bird, it has meaning across all cultures, but with rings, not so much. It's pretty rare to see a man wearing a ring on the middle finger, but...
Now, when I think about a man wearing a ring on the middle finger, I think about bikers. Now, this may not be true. I'm just speculating, but it's kind of bikers are pretty tough. You would see them flipping the bird a lot, right? I'm only assuming because I'm not a biker. I have a couple biker friends, but I've never seen them do that, openly. But you think of bikers as being badass. So, but I thought it was kind of, they said not polite to put a ring on the middle finger. But what about men who wear rings on all fingers? So let's go on to see what he's talking about now.
Western men started wearing a ring on this finger as a bold fashion statement. Being in the center of the hand, the middle finger ring can symbolize balance and order. Also, as the largest and boldest finger, some say it can represent masculinity. Personally, I think it's the perfect finger to start your own trend. For example, if you're deciding on which finger tends to have the highest impact, I would recommend the index or the pointer finger, it's why I'm pointing at you right now. Pointer finger, not to be confused with the Pointer Sisters. That's a terrible joke. Hundreds of years ago, men would wear family crest or signet rings on one of their index fingers to symbolize wealth and their social status. People below a certain rank were actually banned from wearing rings on this finger in some European cities. Now this finger is usually meant for showing off a class or fraternal ring on either hand, or a lacrosse championship ring that you won in high school. That was like 15 years ago, Dave. Come on. A ring on your index finger needs to pack a punch. I know, because I box. We also make custom rings right here at Manly Bands.
I did not know that you can put rings on that index finger and it meant that. But now that I know, when I make coin rings, we have particular years on the coins. If you use the rounds, you also have particular like maybe symbols or signs. So there's so many things that you can put on that finger. Like say for instance, if you graduated that year from high school or maybe college, it can be maybe 1976, it could be 1990. You can put on your coin ring, I can engrave the inside, the school name or whatever. So there's so many things that you can put in this finger that I'm learning here that you can also, even though they're regular rings here he's talking about in Manly Bands, we can also do the same thing with coin rings. So let's go a little further to see exactly what he's talking about if he talks about more fingers.
So you can have your own badass ring. The symbolism on your largest digit falls into two areas. The first is power and influence. The rings reflect this by being broad or bulky. Other symbolism is integration and friendship, like when giving the thumbs up sign. Make sure you choose a wider ring here that doesn't limit your hand's mobility. The best styles of rings should complement your fashion sense and your confidence. Okay, which is why the one ring of power is like the perfect ring for men. First off, it's the one ring of power, so if you want to convey power, hello.
2 hours later.
Moving to the right hand, we have a few cultural differences. For example, the right index finger is the proper place for the wedding in a traditional Jewish ceremony. This is typically a plain gold band. The right ring finger serves the same purpose as the left in many countries, such as Germany, Russia, India, and many others. And in addition to the previous reasons to wear a pinky ring, on the right side, it can also represent your profession. In some professions like engineering and ecology, a pinky ring is a symbol of graduating with a degree in that field. A professional ring is typically a simple band made of iron, silver, or stainless steel. And that's the symbolism of rings on each of your different phalanges, and that's science talk for fingers. Remember, if you plan on wearing rings on different fingers, get them sized correctly because each of your dazzling digits is unique, just like you. If you don't even know your ring size, well, check this video out. And if this...
Well, that was pretty cool. I like videos that kind of like stress that point of education. So we know when you have a ring, you can put it on your right, your left, and it has different meanings on your phalanges. Like he says, the scientific term for fingers. Well, guys, this is JT from JT Coin Rings, where I talk coin rings and all things precious metals. If you're in the market for looking for a coin ring, please consider me at jtcoinrings.com. You can also check out some of my videos, and I do live streams of making customer bands. So definitely check me out. Here's my commercial to go a little bit deeper. Check it out, guys.
Take pride in your stack and wear it. Johnson Toe is an American craftsman who could take your favorite coin design and create art that you'd be very proud to wear and something very special to share. JT Coin Rings, handcrafts, handmade jewelry, especially for you.
Thank goodness for fair use. And thank Manly Bands for making a video that shared this information. I hope you got something for it. If you have any questions or concerns, please put them in the comments below. And guys, I will see you next time. Please like, comment, and share. JT Coin Rings is out.